I'm just gonna open up and be very candid with you today. I just have this feeling of massive overwhelm that's just been kind of crippling me over the past several months. And I had this realization the other day that I actually might be making my own problems worse without even realizing it. You see, for the past several years, I've been patting myself on the back for filling my social media feeds with content on entrepreneurship, marketing, building businesses, building wealth, things like that. It's all about growth. Growth-minded individuals are the people that I follow. I thought that this was how successful people operate. They surround themselves with stories and information that pushes them forward on their desired path. And I think that is true, but I had this epiphany. I think some of my overwhelming feelings are stemming from the media that I'm consuming, even though it's not garbage content that demotivates you. There's plenty of things that you can scroll on your feeds and look into and absorb, and it does change your psyche. It does change how your brain's wired, how you see the world, because you become what you surround yourself with. If you want to become more successful in a certain pursuit, look for the people that are a couple years ahead of you or a couple decades ahead of you and try to take in advice and information from them. But I think I did it so much that, in one word, comparison. Comparison became a big trap for me and is right now. And then the other word that goes along with that is contentment. I'd fallen into this comparison trap and it was messing up my contentment. It was really sabotaging the chance for me to be able to feel content and proud with where I'm at in life today. Because I've climbed quite a bit up the mountain of my personal journey, right? And that's something to be proud of. Comparison and contentment go hand in hand, and it's very common, like the comparison trap you think about for young women. They never feel pretty enough, they never feel skinny enough. Or young men, they never feel manly enough, they're never strong enough, they're never cool enough. And when you see Instagram feeds full of hot chicks and strong dudes, for example, it's nearly impossible for it not to manipulate how you see yourself. I've fallen victim to this exact thing, but for me, it's been wealth, career, and lifestyle. And I'm opening up and I'm sharing my vulnerabilities because this contentment crisis, I believe, is at an all-time high for many of us, not just me. I thought the good content was good for me, but too much of anything is too much. Believe it or not, you drink too much water, it'll kill you. The thing that sustains life can be the very thing that ends your life. Too much of anything is too much. If you've been following me for any length of time, you've likely picked up on the fact that I am a man with many questions. So for you, here is another. Is what you're chasing after, the life that you want to have, the thing that moves you forward each day, the thing that you get out of bed for each day, is that your dream or someone else's? Similar to how some parents push their kids into careers that they don't want to pursue, they force them to go to college when it's not the path for them. I believe my overconsumption of business and wealth content has essentially imprinted this career life path into my psyche as a distorted version of the life that I truly crave. I see so much of what's on my phone, so much of what's on my computer, of the success, that not only do I never feel content because I don't have what they have yet, but I start to feel like that's the path I need to take, is go exactly down the road that they did. And what if that's not exactly what I want? That's the friction. That's where the overwhelm comes in. You start to feel like you've lost sight of what you want in life. And that's what's happened for me. I have totally lost sight of what I want out of life. Now, it's not all for nothing. This is just another learning curve and another opportunity for me to grow from my prior experiences. But I think this form of identity crisis is very real and it can be very, very scary. So I have to ask myself, is my tenacious work ethic, which I'm not complimenting myself when I say that, is it hurting my marriage? Are all these projects, this right here included, is this pulling me away from quality time with my 2 little kids? Is saying yes to all these opportunities that are starting to float around, are they sabotaging the chance for me to dial in expertise and specialization in an area that means the most to me, to where it really fills me up from the inside out so that I can be better? The answers are yes, yes, and yes. But then the next question is, am I too far gone? And is it too late? And what I have to say to that is, hell no.
Hell nah.
Not even close. Yet, whether I learn and adapt from these realizations or not, my kids will quickly grow up, and those opportunities to hold my child before bedtime, to go out back in the backyard and play in the sandbox, or just share a simple dinner on a random Tuesday night, will indeed vanish. Time treats us all the same, which is really the ultimate blessing, and it's the ultimate curse. It becomes whatever you allow it to be. I've been trying to figure out what I really want, who I really want to become, what business I really want to build out of the content that I'm creating, what products that I want to build from the expertise that I have, from the skills that I'm accruing. And I laugh and I kind of cry when I realize that I'm 31 years old and I'm still asking myself all of these things. So now that I've opened up about all of this, let me tell you what my action plan is, or some things that I'm gonna do moving forward. Number one, pretty obvious, I'm going to limit my consumption of career-related media, or even more than that, just media in general. Try not to scroll on social media as much. It's just not good for me, and it's kind of a time waster. And the people that have taken the sabbaticals, they do 30 days, no social media, they delete the apps off their phone, they always seem to feel more energized and recharged. And with all the overwhelm that I've been feeling, the pressure and the stress, I think that this will be good for me. Now, it's not that I'm not going to be around at all on social media or taking in anything. I just need to limit the consumption of it, specifically the career-related based on everything that I've talked about here. Number two is I'm going to create more space for myself so that I can think creatively and critically with limited influence from the outside. I need to have the time to be able to digest, what do I want? What am I doing? What should my goals be? What does the top of my personal mountain of success look like? And it's really hard to paint that mental picture for yourself if you're looking at all of what you want through the lens of everything else you're consuming. You need to be able to create that space so that you can think creatively and critically with limited influence from the outside. So that's the second thing. And lastly, I'm gonna ease off the career throttle without losing ambition. And I don't know what that means other than just what I said. I need to slow down. I need to not say yes so much. I think there's a lot to be gained, and this is that next stepping stone in my life's journey and in my journey as a solopreneur. And so a couple more bullet points for us to just kind of walk away with today. If you feel anything somewhat familiar to what I'm talking about right now, if this is resonating with you even a little bit, I challenge you and encourage you to take a pause and also know that you're not alone, because this can feel really lonely. You can feel like everybody else is doing so well while you're at home, basically crying into your own hands and just out of sorts, essentially. Number two is what you're chasing after your dream or theirs. What are you going after? Make sure that it's what you want. And then the third question to ask yourself is, are you content? And if so, what helps you stay grounded? If you feel discontent, why? And lastly, I'll just say I deeply cherish your presence here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm fully open to chat and hear your story. So just feel free to reach out. And again, thank you. I challenge you, create some space for yourself this week to think. Until next time, peace.